Hello everyone, it's very exciting for me to present this typewriter Olivetti Linea 98 because it's the typewriter on that I learned to type at school in 1980. Do you remember which was the first typewriter you used? This one wasn't my first one. Most probably it was a Triumph Matura that my mother used at home in the 1960s. This one, I still have it. The Linea 98 has many particular functions, and many of the interesting functions I talk in this video can also be applied to other typewriters. At the end of the video you will be an expert. If you are already an expert, watch the video so you can tell me if there is anything else to say. When I started working in the 1980s, the Linea 98 was the most diffused manual office typewriters in Italy. In those times, I sold the spare parts to Olivetti resellers, so I still remember very well these spare parts. Best sold spare parts were the buttons, all the levers, the covers, and many internal mechanical parts. The serial number is here on the right, so we know it has been produced in Italy. If the serial number had been on the left, then it would have been produced in Brazil. The Linea 98 was rebranded also as Antares 9000, Antares 508, Underwood 1198, Underwood 298, Lagomarsino Folio 2. I still have some manuals. I also have this manual for assistance. It explains how to adjust all settings, how to dismount it, and what to do with specific problems. It's a manual from 1972. The typewriter has an Italian layout. You can see at first glance because it has the accented letters but without having the typical French letters. There is also this symbol that is the same of the sterling, but in this case was used for the lira, the Italian currency at that period. You can see also that there are all the numbers except the 0. You have to use the O instead. Let's see all the functions of this typewriter. This one is a triple purpose button. For one, you can use it for margin release, of course. Second, you can use it for the automatic indentation. When you start a letter or write a book, usually you start around 10 spaces after the margin. So when you use the interline lever, you go to the margin directly. But if you press this button while using the interline lever, you stop 10 spaces before and you can start writing the letter with a paragraph. Third, you can use this button to unjam 2 typing bars. It's very handy. They didn't tell me this use at school. Or maybe I was distracted. There is a system to center the paper when you insert it. Do you see there are some numbers here? To center the paper in the carriage, insert it so that the numbers at the right and left edges of the paper are the same. It's around 9. Do you see? The paper is well centered. If you use paper of the same size, you can move this paper guide so the paper will always be centered. This wheel is a line spacing selector with 4 positions. And this of course is the interline lever. Here there are some interesting levers that almost all the typewriters have in common, but not everyone uses correctly. Let's say that you have to write something. Maybe you have a form and you have to write on a line, but it's not aligned with the line you are writing on now. If you press this lever, you see this little bar move from the cogwheel to the roller. Now you can move the roller freely and you can write on the line of the form. When you move against the lever, the little bar moves again, blocking the wheel, and you can return on the line you were writing before. If you press this button on the roller, do you see that only the roller moves? It means that you cannot return on the line you were before, because you changed permanently the position of the writing line. Could be useful if you insert in the typewriter a paper you used before and you have to write exactly on a line where you were writing before. This is the regulator of the touch. It varies from a light touch to a heavier one, maybe if you have many copies to type on. With these levers you can place automatically the margins. You don't need to place it manually. Here there is a ribbon selector. There are 4 positions, one more than the usual. There is the position for the black ribbon, the red ribbon, and the white for typing a stencil for mimeograph, where you don't use the ribbon. There is also this position, where the typing bar hits the middle of the ribbon. It is useful if you use a ribbon with only one color, usually black, so the use is more uniform. This is the tabulator. This is simple. Tab plus set the tabulation stop. Tab minus remove the tabulation stop. The tabulator is used via this long button here. There is also a page and indicator. It's here on the right knob. It shows the exact number of lines remaining to the top of the page. It is used like this. Insert the paper and align the top edge of the paper with the top edges of the aligning scale marks on the transparent card holders. Push in the fluted portion of the right knob and turn it until the number corresponding to the paper length, in this case is A4, so 29 cm, is directly opposite to the mark on the cover. When the paper disappears in the carriage, the indicator will show how many lines are left before the end of the page. Do you see? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now it's 0 on the knob and you are at the end of the page. There is also a system to center a title in the paper. Let's say that the paper is already centered. You have to move the carriage to the left. There is the 0 position on the black scale. You see that the carriage position scale has some numbers in white and other in black. Let's say you want to write London, so it's 6 letters. Depress the space bar for each letter and space in the title. So you type 6 spaces. In the white part of the type bar there is 85. Now you go to the 85 looking at the black part of the bar, and when you write the word London, is centered. Do you see? This table has a double function. It prevents the paper to go again in the roller, but is called also erasing table. That's why if you make an error, You erase the paper and you use the table to erase the error. It can happen that you omit a letter when writing. There is a function allowing you to insert the omitted letter without erasing the whole line. You see? It's Olivetti instead of Olivetti. There is a T missing, but there is not enough space to write Olivetti with the 2T. But there is a system to do it. You have to erase the word. Move the carriage to the space before the word to be corrected and that preceding it. Depress the spacebar and keeping it depressed, retype the first letter. Release the spacebar, depress it again and keeping it depressed, type the second letter. Proceed in the same way for the remaining letters. Do you see? The correct word has been inserted between the other two words. In the typewriters, often you find some holes in the transparent mask here. You can use it to draw lines horizontally and vertically. You can also remove the roller for cleaning or maintenance. Move the carriage all the way to the right. Raise the paper bale and the erasing table. Open the right front cover and remove the roller from the rest position on the right. Open the left front cover and remove the roller from the rest position on the left. That's all. Now you know very well how to use this Olivetti Linea 98. And also many of the things I showed today can be applied to many other typewriters. Hope this is helpful for you. Have a nice day.